H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.
WTP Web Apps. Under WTP Web Apps, you'll be having a Servlet Web Pro. If you remember, we copied and pasted the WAR file somewhere in your Tomcat in the real, in the actual structure somewhere here. Okay, here in this case, I don't have to do it automatically. It is going to happen. So in the very starting classes, we saw it that we have put all your information somewhere here. So I put the WAR file here. Automatically, the WAR file got extracted and a particular folder got created here. The same way out here in your Eclipse, whenever you try to run your server using your Eclipse, it will be stored somewhere in your .metadata.plugins somewhere in this particular folder. Okay, so you have all the informations out here. All right. Okay, so I was trying to show you the logs. So this is the place wherein all your logs gets stored. All right. So every time any activity happens, your log file will be stored out here. All right. Okay, so this is all about filters. You can use it effectively for a lot of other purposes also. Okay. Now, I would request everyone to download one of the one of the extension which is present in your Chrome, or you can use it in your Mozilla Firefox or in your Internet Explorer also. Here I have used an extension because I want to check each and every request, how the request goes and how the response comes, right? So whenever you talk about an HTML, from the HTML you do a submit. What happens ultimately? You send a request to the server. Now this HTML is somewhere present in your browser itself. You send a request and you get a response back from the browser itself. Okay. Now this is a tool. This is an extension with the help of which you can basically trace those kind of linkage. Okay. So just go to your extensions. Where is my okay? Just go to the settings and go to extensions and get more extensions. And just type for live HTTP header. Okay, you can type it in your Mozilla also, or in your Chrome also, or even you get it for your Internet Explorer also. Okay, let me see if there are any other questions. What happens when it goes to do filter method? Sai Kiran, I think I have answered that thing. Okay. So when you place H2L, is that also not a better inbuilt tool? Okay, so you're saying H2L. H2L basically is only for your design. Okay, so this is a developer tool wherein you can design it, and I think you can still use that for other things, but I haven't used this. I basically use this for designing. Okay, whenever you feel that your alignment is not proper, you can basically use your developer tool here, but I think still you can use this. Let me just check that. Submit. Okay, yeah, this also gives you those things as well. Okay, but very well, if you're pretty much comfortable with your live HTTP header, because this is what I've been using it for a long time. All right, Adil, yeah, thank you. Even I didn't knew. All right. So here, let us go back. What am I trying to do here? I'm trying to give a request here. So Jairam and Raut. Okay. And if you see right now, everything is cleared up. Go to the HTTP live HTTP header. Okay. Nothing is here right now. Everything I've cleared here. So when you do a submit out here, let us go back to this particular live HTTP header. What am I getting is you have sent a request. Okay. And you're getting a response back. Okay, now this is okay, so let us go here and let us go here. Okay, now if you see here, the request what you have sent is a get request because that's what you have specified in your HTML. Okay, this is what you have specified in your HTML, and these are other informations which goes along with your header also. Okay, so what is your host details, and whether it's a text HTML or whatever. Okay, it even gives you a lot of other informations, and this is your response code which you got it from your server. So that means everything is okay. So when you get a response code as 200, that means you have to understand that everything is okay. It gives you what is the length and what is the content type also. So it gives a lot of other informations along with it. So this is the request which is you send, and this is the response what you get. Okay, now okay, so all right, so we'll talk about okay, I think yesterday's class I haven't spoken about checkboxes, so let's go here right now. Okay, now what is this? Right click properties. Let me just copy this, and action is a checkbox. So I think we have got a checkbox out here. And in this checkbox, I'm just saying request.get parameter of math or physics or chemistry. So let us go back here. Okay. So guys, I mean, just have this. This tool is really handy for each and every time because most of the times you'll be using this for debugging or whatnot. Okay. Now, if you see here, you have used a checkbox out here. Okay. Input type equal to checkbox, name equal to math, physics, and chemistry. Okay. And in the browser, ultimately, you check this. You do not check physics, and you check chemistry. Okay. And just say select subject. Okay. What's happening here? It is going to the filter, right? So let me just disable the filter out here. Okay, so clear this. Okay, so here I think everything is started. So I just do as enter here, right? So what happened here? It didn't come there. One sec. From a checkbox, you say checkbox here. It should come to the checkbox, and checkbox should get executed. The URL pattern is also checkbox. What happened here? It hasn't started yet. Do we have download live HTTP here? Yeah, we have to download live HTTP header, Madhu. Let me just compile it. Okay, I think everything is fine. Why is it not giving the output to the console? Let me just debug this. Okay. So okay, refresh and just do a submit. Why is it not coming out here? Sublet checkbox. We'll do one thing. We'll just go this, and we'll just remove this target as of now. Okay, we have got a post here, so we'll just give a get out here. Okay, and I think your checkbox is going to take your get. It doesn't have a post, or it has a post, but we are not doing anything in the post, so that was our mistake. Okay, anyways, go back here, clear this. Hopefully the server has been started. Restart. This is what happens when you copy and paste couple of things. I used Fiddler to capture the traffic. Yeah, that's fine, Ajit. You can use, there are a lot of other tools you can use any of those things. Okay, does this tool also monitor the local Eclipse SOAP request? No, for SOAP, yeah, I think SOAP request also it will do it, unless and until you have some anything in the browser itself. Okay, because it only tries to take up all the requests whichever it comes from your browser itself. Okay.
So we can have only one at a time, I mean post or get.
You can have both the things. You have basically need to chain this up. I didn't change this up. I think in the previous classes I have spoken about these things. Okay, I have changed it right now. So this way you can do it. You can have both the things as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I think all right. So here mathematics and chemistry has both been selected. Now do a submit. Now if you see here, my math flag is on, my chemistry flag is on. So what happens whenever you talk about a checkbox, you will get a value as on or off. Okay. It's not on and off. If it has been checked, you will be getting a response. You will be getting a value as on here. Okay. So request.get parameter of math. Okay. So this is what the checkbox is all about. There are a couple of other examples. I think if you can go ahead and see that, you can understand those things. Okay. Okay. Now let us go and check other examples also and understand what all things we can do it using your servlet. Okay. Now here this is a direct servlet. I haven't given any HTML associated to that. So this is a direct servlet with the help of which, I mean, I can just say with the help of my root context, I can just give this name and this particular servlet is going to pop up accordingly. Okay. So, but apart from that, this is what we have already seen it. So nothing new in this. So here I've done some kind of chaining here. Okay. The only new thing which you can see here is the response.set init header. Okay, so that means when you try to access this particular servlet, okay, you get a response. Now this current time is 8:40, 8:40 p.m. Now this keeps getting refreshed in 5 seconds. Now how it is happening? The moment you gave a response, right? So who gave a response? If you see this diagram out here, this bad diagram out here, okay. So the moment you send a request, you get a response back from the server. The moment you get a response back, as you know, it is going to send something in the header itself. Okay, so if I clear this up, okay, now the moment I see this, I get something as refreshes 5 as a response. The moment I see refreshes 5, what happens is your browser keep refreshing every 5 seconds out here. Okay, so this is one functionality. You can add some information to your browser in order to have some functionality to your browser itself. So that's what I have added, my refresh functionality for every 5 seconds. Okay, so this you can just try that. And here all the same, I mean, I've just taken the calendar here. This is a calendar class which comes under your util package. Okay, so with the help of which you can basically get the information, you can get the date, you can get the hours and whatnot. Okay, so this is also pretty handy. There are different simple date format also wherein you can format your dates as well. So I hope you, I mean, just go through those examples. Those are pretty much handy because every now and then you might be using those utility classes for getting the date or time, or you want to subtract some date, you want to subtract some add some dates and whatnot. Okay. All right. Now, okay. Now we'll do one thing. We'll try to have some kind of issues in our servlet. So we want to show some kind of exceptions. So how do I handle any kind of exceptions in my case? Okay. Now, before that, it is very important to understand because let us do one thing. Let us go back to the hello.html. Okay, and in your hello.html, you know it is going to go to your hello form. So let me just remove this. Okay, so that my console does not keep scrolling here. No idea what SOAP is. Are we going to discuss about it? SOAP is Adil. It's actually when we talk about web services, we'll talk about SOAP. Okay. Who did ask this question actually? Adil, Ajit. Okay. Ajit asked the question and Adil asked another question here. Um, okay, all right. So now we are going to talk something about exceptions, right? Now, intentionally, I'll just try to push some junk code in our logic. Okay. So from your hello form, it is going to go to your hello form, right? So as you know, from very beginning, I have been using your uh, divided by zero exception, right? So we'll just do some kind of weird exceptions out here, okay? But before that, let me just remove couple of things from the web.xml, okay? And then we will again come back and revisit this one. So just think everything is blank. We haven't done anything on that. You guys can close your eyes also as of now. Let us go back here and restart the server. Okay. In the meantime, let me go to the hello form, or let me do one thing. Uh, okay, let it be as it is. Okay. So here I'll just say int I equals to 45 divided by 0. Very plain and simple. Okay. Let's go with this. Okay, there could be any kind of exceptions. It could be some application exceptions also. Let's say you are trying to get a number, but you got a string. There are a lot of issues which you might get it in a real time also. Okay, but ultimately you have to handle those kind of exceptions for us. Okay, so go back and just say http localhost 8081 servlet web pro and hello.html. All right. So this is your page, and what happens the moment you submit this page, it ultimately goes to your hello form.java, right? That's what we have been seeing from the very beginning. Submit this. The moment you submit it, you know that you will definitely get an exception. That is your runtime exception. That is your arithmetic exception. You can very well basically handle these exceptions, but I want to show you in particular that if what happens basically if any exception comes up in picture, okay, and that too you have got your separate exceptions out here. Okay, that means your do get method might throw your separate exceptions, or it might throw your IO exceptions also. Okay, now uh, this is what you see. This is the one you see it in your logs in your console. The same thing you see, but in a very short way. Okay, it does not print all the informations out here, but it does print some information, and it says the status is 500. Okay, so why it is 500? Whenever there is an internal error. So when we say 200, okay, that means everything is okay. That's what we saw, right? So if you go to the HTTP header, now if you see you got something like 500. Okay, that means something is wrong with the response of your server. Okay, now whenever you get 200, that means everything is good. So whenever you get 404, that means your file not found. That means when you're trying to, if you see in this authentication filter, if you let's say I'm going to say here as login.html. Now my login.html is nowhere present in my entire project. So in that case, you're trying to access a file which is not present. Okay, in that case you'll say file not found. Okay, so there are different statuses. If you open your status code.xsl, this already I have checked in. You just check out this particular project. You can see status codes.xls. I mean the Excel spreadsheet. You can just open this and see a lot of other status codes which you can use it handily. Okay, in your project. I mean there is an application as Ajax. With the help of that, you can basically you want to know what are the status codes you are getting it. Okay, we will not be covering those things, but again just to tell you, give you some information, you will be using these kind of statuses sometime or other. Okay, now here in this case you see 200 is okay, and we have already spoken about 404, that is a file not found, and we are going to discuss about your 500, that is your internal server error. So that means something went wrong in your server itself. Okay, now clear this up. So I know something is wrong here. So my main objective is not to show you that something is wrong here. My main objective is to show you how to handle these kind of exceptions for us. Okay. Now go back to your hello form. Let me just delete, remove all these things. Okay. Now I got some exceptions out here, and ultimately something weird got printed out here. Let's say in the real time you okay, so go back again, copy this. Okay, now let's say for example I am giving your name, last name, and your age. Three things I need, and I do not have any kind of client-side validation. So when I say client-side validation, I do not I'm not stopping anyone to add any kind of junk data. Okay, and age. So this is a text, no doubt. So I'll just say age. Okay, so this is kind of a real-time scenario wherein you might come up with these kind of issues. So my objective is take the first name, take the last name. Okay, or let's do one thing. Let's say I want to say depending on your age divided by 2. Okay, this should be your height. So this is my actual logical calculation. Okay, so my age, so what should I do here? I will just say request.get parameter of age. Okay, so this is my hello.html. I have got the name as age, so that's what I'm going to use it out here. Okay, I know that this particular age is of type integer. Okay, because when you talk about age, you will only enter integer. You will not try to enter any kind of other values. Okay, so here I will say here as int age equals to so and so. Okay, now as your request dot get parameter, okay, what the return type of your request dot get parameter is your string. I want to convert this particular type to an integer, so I'll just basically say integer dot parse int of a string. So this takes a string out here. Okay, so I get the age. So the ideal height is something like the age divided by 2. Okay, so copy this and see, it's very difficult for me to type in anything and make sure that the HTML files are properly formatted. Okay, so I just give here as your height should be this one. Okay, plus I think everything is fine. All right. Okay, so your height should be this much. Now go back to my hello.html. Everything is fine. So go back here and go back to this and refresh this. Okay, now you got first name, last name, and age. Okay, right, and just do a submit out here. Right, it says your height should be 15. Right, no doubt. I mean everything is fine now over here. Now let's say by mistake I gave 30 or any kind of junk data. I do a submit out here. You get something like number format exception, because here ultimately in your application what you're trying to do is you are trying to get a string, no doubt, and you know that your string is of some number and you're trying to say integer dot, you're parsing that particular number to an actual integer by saying integer dot parseInt. But here in this case you cannot parse a particular string to a particular number because you know it is a number. Okay, so in that case we basically end up into some kind of exception. Okay, now the exception is so weird for me. Even if I'm a computer guy, I understand. Let's say my grandparents try to access this particular website. I have already hosted this particular website. Okay, they know how to read English, right? They do not know anything about Java, right? When they see what is this number format exception, I don't even understand about anything about it, right? So you have to handle these kind of exceptions appropriately. All right, either you can divert your page to some other page also, okay, by giving some meaningful message saying that please enter your age properly or whatever it is. Okay, now that's what we are going to see right now. Right, now here in this case, if you see a web.xml I commented couple of things. Okay.